Have you heard about what happened in Diddy's secret tunnel? The rumors are so crazy. Even Piers Morgan couldn't believe it. I'm telling you, he was completely shocked. His jaw dropped, his eyes nearly popped out. It was that wild. You're definitely going to want to hear all the details.
Like darkness. I mean, in general, like I've always had weird feelings on this street.
Yeah.
This type. Well, the Playboy Mansion's down there, so I always thought it was the Playboy Mansion. It wasn't until probably a year ago that I realized this was Diddy's house.
Second time I met Oprah was at the Playboy Mansion. There's tunnels under the Playboy Mansion that lead to celebrities' homes. All kind of celebrities' homes.
Sean Diddy Combs is now facing 6 more lawsuits spanning 2 decades. Awful allegations, including some coming.
Picture this. Piers Morgan sitting in his comfy studio chair, all smug like he's seen it all. He's sipping his tea, probably thinking about which celebrity he's going to roast next. The guy's got that been there, done that vibe, right? But what he didn't know is that things were about to get real strange behind the scenes. The producers were huddled together, whispering like they were sharing some major gossip. Papers were flying, people were rushing around, something big was about to happen, and Piers had no clue. So, Piers starts chatting with his guest, asking about Diddy like it's just another typical day in celebrity land. He's got that bored look, like, yeah, what's Diddy up to now? But then, suddenly, the guest's face changes. I mean, it completely changes. It's like they've seen a ghost. The whole room goes dead quiet, and you can almost feel the tension in the air. Piers, leaning in, thinks he's about to hear some usual gossip. Maybe Diddy threw another crazy party or bought another island. But nope, this was way bigger. Out of nowhere, the guest drops the bombshell about Diddy's secret tunnels. Piers's eyebrows shoot up like they're trying to escape his forehead. His eyes go wide, and you can see the confusion on his face as he's trying to process what he just heard. Wait, what? Tunnels? Diddy?
Well, I think that the authorities came up with enough evidence to go into a judge by using the civil cases that has came upon him. So, because they used the civil cases and found that there was some criminal activity that may have been found at some one of those people who, like Cassie, Jonathan Odie didn't have a civil case against him, but Cassie, Jonathan Odie, and Lil Rob, they used the evidence that they had or the statements they made and convinced the judge that there was enough probable cause to go in there with a search warrant. But the way they did the search warrant and how they did it, man, I thought he was El Chapo or somebody. You know, they took a tactical team in there, brother. They had tactical units. You understand? And it was for allegedly a sex crime. But they took, my man, did you see the artillery and the way the Homeland Security came in there? My man, you would have swore, it was going to be some gun violence up in there, how they came to it. So my feeling of it is that enough statements have been made that they could probably prove.
Now, Piers is all in. He's sitting up straight, trying to act like he's heard it all before, but you can see his mind working overtime. He's got that look on his face, the one where he's trying to figure out if this is real or if someone's just messing with him. The energy in that studio is electric. It's like everyone's holding their breath, waiting to see what comes next. Piers is gripping his chair, leaning forward like he might fall out of it. And the guest? They're just getting started. You can tell Piers is doing his best to keep his composure, but his face is giving it all away. 1 minute, he's shocked. The next, he's confused, then back to stunned again. It's like his emotions are doing a dance on his face. That's when you know the big reveal is coming. Not just a little spill, but a full-on pour, like a waterfall of hot, steaming, earth-shattering tea. Piers Morgan might have thought he knew all the celeb gossip, but what was coming next was about to blow his mind and change everything.
Oh, man. Yeah, it ain't looking good for Diddy, man.
Oh.
Yeah, it might be over, man.
You can stick a fork in him. He's done. No Diddy. But you can stick a fork in him. He's done. There's no way that he could ever come back from this. He has to find a way to pay his penances with God. Do some charity work for domestic. I'm helping him out. You understand? Get rid of all these elusive preachers and everything, these TD Jakes and all that other bull crap. Get down with that down home religion. Go and support some women groups from domestic violence. Support and do some charity work for women in battered shelters. Go and spend your life and your time helping men like yourself. Once you take care of your business and get on your knees and beg for Ms. Wallace's forgiveness for putting the Notorious Big in that situation that he lost his life. That's a start.
What you think about Diddy Drug Mill taking a plea deal?
Well, what I believe and what I think, he wasn't just a drug mule, he was a plant. He's a CI. That's a confidential informant. He already had a case prior to him getting that case with Diddy and them. He probably already had a handler of somebody that he was just trying to work it out. And that's what he did.
You think he told him any information about Diddy?
Yeah, he got to. They're not going to give you a deal for nothing because you got caught with the drugs. Because you say they was for Diddy and them? You got to give us something.
And you think they're using all that information to indict Diddy?
Oh, no doubt. They taking their time, bro. They working on this and they taking their time.
How you feel about the people that feel like, at this point, Diddy, his name is tarnished to the point that, his own kids, they can't benefit from his name?
I think because because Diddy built this whole aura that he was about family, his kids, and he was trying to make them great. He was trying to put them in certain positions and stuff like that. I believe that it's gonna hurt Justin. King Kong is out the window. It's gonna hurt him crazy. Quincy, maybe. It's gonna, people gonna look at them and say, yo, listen here. If we have him on movies, if we have him on this, what the mass public is gonna say. What is the public at large is gonna say about this? So a lot of people is not gonna want to even be involved in that because they don't want other people and to be involved in it. You get what I'm saying? No, listen to me. He ain't done so much dirt to people and they kids. Why should people give his kids a chance?
Now Piers is all ears. His tea, long forgotten and cold, sits there as he tries to play it cool. But you can see the wheels turning in his head, trying to figure out if this is for real or if someone's pulling his leg. The energy in that studio is electric, like everyone's holding their breath, waiting for the next big reveal. Piers grips his chair, leaning in as if he might fall off. And the guest? They're just getting started. You can tell Piers is doing his best to stay composed, but his face can't hide it. 1 second, he's shocked, the next confused, then back to shocked again. His emotions are all over the place. That's when you know it's coming. The tea is about to be spilled. Not just spilled, but poured out like a waterfall. Hot, steaming, earth-shattering gossip. Piers Morgan thought he had seen it all when it came to celebrity scandals, but what was coming next? It was about to blow his mind and change everything.
They did enough investigation. See, people think that when the federal government go in there on you, the reason they got a 99% conviction rate, because most people say, they got me. They don't go to court with them. So for them to have a team in New York, because they didn't really mention too much about New York. They had property in New York, property in Miami, and a property in LA, all simultaneously hit. Those different agencies had to get together, plan that, and that's not no bull. And you know, that's a lot of manpower, a lot of money. So they want to know how they spent the taxpayer. The taxpayer's gonna know why you spending my money on this to come up with nothing. So you best believe they had something in the first place to go up in there, either through, like I said before, wiretaps. You understand? Because if they convinced the judge that they need a warrant, they had wiretaps, surveillance, and different things that was going on. And then, like, it's a lot of crazy statements that have been made. And you got to look at that interview that Jonathan Odie did, bruh. You know what I'm saying? That was probably more damaging than Cassie. And that was more damaging than Cassie, because check this out. He said Diddy was transporting liquid cocaine on his private jet. Now, the DEA wasn't involved in this. It was the FBI and the Homeland Security, basically. That's because of the sex trafficking thing. But if they find any of that stuff in any one of his houses, there's a problem. Even if they find illegal guns, the constitutional right goes the right to bear arms, but he had to have licenses for that shit. So if anybody got illegal guns up in there, if they find any kind of drugs to a high amount, cocaine and weed, I don't think Diddy gonna get charged, because what he did, he put everything in his kid's name and his company.
Did you see the video of his kids in handcuffs?
Yeah, that's a tactical thing. The kids being in handcuffs is a tactical thing that law enforcement use, you understand, hoping that people who've never been in handcuffs before, that it either scares them or want to make them talk. There's no reason after they searched those kids, because they didn't have a search warrant for bodies. They had a search warrant for, like, materials, laptops, telephones, logs, pictures, tapes. You know, that's what they search warrant is for. They didn't have a search warrant for bodies. So those kids, when they came out, they should have searched them. And then, yo, listen, y'all sit down right there. That was a tactical move to get them to talk and to scare them into saying something, you know, by keeping them handcuffed like that. They didn't have to do those kids like that. None of those kids have, that I know of, criminal cases against them or known for criminal activity. So there was no reason for them to do that. If them was the damn Rockefellers or somebody else, they wouldn't have had their kids handcuffed like that. But you got to realize their father has painted a crazy picture to the authorities. You understand?
We all know Piers thinks he's seen it all in celebrity land, right? Well, let me tell you, what came out of that guest's mouth next had Mr. Know-It-All looking like a deer in headlights. You ever seen a guy's entire worldview shatter live on TV? That's exactly what happened. The tea started flowing, and it was scalding hot. The guest opened up, and suddenly, Diddy's tunnels weren't just some gossip. They were the entrance to an entire underground world full of secrets. Pierce tried to stay composed, but with every word, his eyes got wider. You could practically see his brain short-circuiting. The guest kept talking about secret parties that would make even the wildest Hollywood bashes look like a sleepover. We're talking hush-hush deals going down in those tunnels, stuff that would have the FBI's ears perking up. Pierce was gripping his chair so tight, I swear it looked like it might snap. His knuckles were wider than his shirt, and that's saying something. His face was like watching a movie in fast forward. Shock, denial, anger. His expressions were changing faster than a chameleon on a dance floor. He kept trying to interrupt, but the tea was coming too fast and too hot. Every time he opened his mouth, the guest dropped another bombshell.
Puff has been dodging the legal system for years. His affiliation with BMF, even though Meech has said that Puff never did anything, Puff never been around her, they still was partying together. So in the authorities' mind, they feel like Puff knew what Meech was doing. Then with the introduction to Jacob and different people, and a lot of people going to jail for money laundering and stuff like that, Puff being, and this is documented, Puff being a CI for an FBI agent. I said this years ago that him and Kirk Burroughs took some paperwork. They was taking some papers up to the FBI, so like when they was here in New York. They was taking paperwork up there and stuff like that. Don't know what it was, but later on found out that he was a CI. You understand? Now, what happens? He don't have that. The guy probably, that was 20, 30 years, 20 some years ago. The guy probably retired. Puff ain't dealing with him. No, he didn't pass Puff on or something like that. So now, Puff been dodging the legal system with the, people had it wrong. They think it was with the Black Mafia family. No, it was with Butt Naked. I said this years ago. The person that he said is his senior advisor, Corey Jacobs. Corey had 9 16-to-life sentences for drug trafficking. You make him your senior advisor, even though that was your man, he coming home. That's your man, pots and pans. But Wolf was the one who took care of them when they was away. You know what I'm saying? Wolf was the one who took care of them. So now, you got all these, these characters, around you. What they gonna think when they come to your house? They got the evidence, or they had statements that you blew up Kid Cudi's car. You understand what I'm saying? They have statements that, you may have been affiliated with people being shot. So they come to your house like this. They treat your kids like this. Based on the picture you have played to the authorities. So them having his kids like that, I think that was wrong. After they searched those kids, make sure they didn't have no weapons on them, sit them down on the ground, make them feel comfortable, because at this time, they're not criminals. They haven't committed any crimes.
I see. Speaking of drugs, right? Because you made a comment about it earlier. How you feel about Diddy's drug mule getting arrested?
The news about them arresting the mule, now, they're gonna have to prove that. Now, if that guy becomes a witness, and if they can track anything back to Puff, with that, that's gonna be one of their star witnesses.
Damn.
Cause see, they will give him leniency. They were like, yo, listen, man, hey buddy, listen here, we don't really want you. We know you was just doing this to, you were doing this to take care of your family, feed your moms. You know what I'm saying? Pay your rent. We know that. This guy's living out in this mansion, using you,